Since it
You know this is a sundown town. We don't serve Well, you people can't even be in this part of town after dark.
There's no other place open, and I need to eat. I won't stay. I just need a hot coffee and a hamburger, and I'll take it to go. Please.
Well, the coffee will be hot, but the hamburger's gonna be cold. And you gotta pay first.
How much?
60 cents. You know, I could lose my job. They could shut this diner down.
You can keep the change. I'll be gone as soon as the food's ready. Don't have a bathroom?
There's one for the help out back.
I've never seen anything like that. He fell right on his face.
That was old Curtis. He laid in the ditch with his pants off. That ain't the first time we found him like that.
Bobby, Mayor, what are you guys doing this late? You know, we're about to close.
Keeping the town safe. 2 coffees.
Said you gotta get your pants on. You cannot.
Hello, brothers and sisters. I just hope that you're fine wherever you are today. Now, most of us, we were taught about slavery, the implication of slavery, and of course, even the story of slavery and the history of slavery. There were some parts that were hidden from us. But now, there's this part of Black history which was excluded. I don't know if I'll call it the really Black history or not Black history, but this is what happened. The history behind sundown towns. Most of us, we were never taught this. Actually, it dawned to me the year 2014. Today, not today, but the year 2014. Actually, I came to know about this like 3 months ago when we had, the climatic conditions, things, the calamities that were happening in sundown towns. That's when I heard the name Sundown Town for the first time. And later on, after all those things happened, today marked the day that I was interested in really getting to know the history of these places. How did really Black people were treated? Because it was said that especially Black people were not allowed in white-only areas when the sun sets. Things were written like you're not allowed here. Don't let the sun get you here, and a number of things that were said to exclude Black people from having this. And these were racially segregated communities in the United States that systemically excluded non-white residents, particularly African Americans, Black Americans, through both formal and informal methods. These towns emerged in large numbers during the late 19th century, coinciding with the collapse of during the late 19th century, coinciding with the collapse of the Reconstruction and the rise of Jim Crow laws in the South. However, the sundown towns were not confined to the South. They were a widespread phenomenon in the Midwest, West, and North. The term sundown town refers to the unwritten, yet brutally enforced rule that Black individuals were required to leave the town before sunset or face severe consequences, including violence and death. These rules were often communicated through signs at the town's borders, warning into uncertain times, don't let the sun set on you here. And a number of Black people who had already settled in these places, they were forced to leave, regardless whether they owned land. And I heard a lot of Black people left their lands out of these places. And I get to understand the value of land even today. And some of them were forced to leave this land, so you can understand how devastating this was. I want us to hear Black people's opinion in regards to what really the sundown town really is. People are sharing their experience, people are sharing their personal anecdotes, and I think that's the most important thing. Let's get into the video. I'll be back and we'll say, 1, 2, 3, and learn from our brothers and sisters who have had history or maybe have experienced it one-on-one. Let's dive right into it.
A Black man would open his front door in the morning and he would see a bundle of sticks tied with string just laying on his front doorstep. And that was all it took, because that was saying, next time it'll be dynamite. There were 48 families who were documented landowners in Forsyth County at that time, Black documented landowners at that time.
In a matter of days, 1,100 Black people were displaced, eclipsing any wealth and progress they'd made during Reconstruction.
They had to leave. Forsyth County. Regardless of what you had, what you owned, you had to leave.
Elon Osby is a descendant of one of those families. Her grandfather owned somewhere between 60 and 80 acres of land in Forsyth.
I have a home here that's on an acre of land almost, and you're really proud of that, you know, and to think that my grandfather had 80-something acres, it's staggering. It hurts, it's sad, and I can't imagine what my grandfather must have been feeling. Land was more important than money in the bank, and I'm sure that he was very proud of himself as a Negro man, you know, to have property like that.
Forsyth remained an all-white county for over 70 years, and that pattern of violence against Black people continued.
Every decade I looked into, there was another episode of violence. There was another outbreak of really shocking bigotry. Miguel Marcelli was an Atlanta firefighter who came to Lake Lanier in 1980, and he and his girlfriend were both of them Black, were at a company picnic on Lake Lanier, and Miguel Marcelli got shot in the head.
Man, we down here in Roanoke, Alabama, where those good old country folks at. And man, I'm gonna tell you something. I had a flashback, man, like I was in slavery, man. You know what I mean? Listen, man, if you ain't never been to Roanoke before,
take the second
y'all
right to stay on Longest
y'all stay
Street.
tuned for this little treat, man. Damn. Back to the ride. Y'all, check this out right here, man. We're right here in Roanoke, Alabama. And man, look at here. This is nothing but a slavery bridge right here, man. The first thing comes to my mind is somebody about to beat my fucking back in. You know what I mean? Man, listen to this shit, man. This don't make no damn sense right here, y'all.
I can't see.
You can't even see that motherfucker. Look at her. Look how she got like she's on a damn roller coaster ride, man. This ain't nothing but some slavery shit. Look at these old school bridge, man. These folks just go across that son of a bitch like, they just go across like it ain't no thing.
I don't ever want to come over that way.
Man, that's crazy. Stay out of Roanoke, man. You say what?
Northwest on
I
Price
say
Street toward Willow Lane.
Roanoke's a joke.
Well, fuck all that. Hey, who's playing 21 on that right there? Is that full court? Who's playing on that right there? Y'all, who's playing some Penguins?
Take the next left on
Yeah.
Rowena Street.
Man, look here, man. What y'all playing, a 4? Ain't no damn way. Y'all stay tuned, man. We got more shit to come from Roanoke. Roanoke's a what?
Joke.
Damn.
Continue for 21
Nice
miles.
down here, right here.
Oh, they got a damn movie theater right there. Roanoke. Hey, I know this is going to be my last time coming here, so I want y'all to check it out. This is one of those sundown towns, it feel like, right? And you could possibly get your hide beat back here if you don't watch it. See, I know these good old folks ain't used to no guy like me back here, because I'm going to give them some feedback, and I'm going to give them everything they looking for back here. I ain't got no... Look at my mama right there. Damn, y'all couldn't see her. Hey, boy, it's going down out here. White elephant. Everything around here is so white. Everything's white, and it's a white elephant there. Why is everything so white around here? When I pull up over here, we're probably fixing to go to this Guthrie's here, and when I get over there, this is exactly how I'm gonna place my order. We'll talk about it when I get to the window, when they see that I ain't what they thought I was. Y'all stay tuned. All right, now we're pulling up over here to this Guthrie's here. And what's the name of this place we at? Roanoke.
Oh, look at the inside.
What it looks like?
I'm ready to go.
You ready to go? I haven't seen a dark face yet. Ain't nothing but good old white folks in there. Everywhere we've been at, we don't see nothing but good old white folks. Hey, if y'all know anything about Roanoke, Alabama, man, let me know if this is an actual sundown town. Like, you better not get caught around here if your skin's dark. But we're fixing to go here and place us a little small order, just because we're here. What are you gonna get?
I'm gonna get a kid's meal.
A 2-piece?
Thank you for choosing Guthrie's. Order when you're ready.
Hey, do you have something like a 2-piece tender?
You can order individual fingers, so you can get you can order 2 fingers if that's what you like.
Ma'am, and a Sprite.
Okay. If you have a snack and a Sprite.
Excuse me. Is this a sundown town? We're not from here.
It's not.
It seems like it is.
I mean, some people are a little, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not a sundown.
Oh, okay.
But some people are, you know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Because when I placed my order, I had to talk like this. But now I could talk back regular than that, since you say that. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, guys, I guess it ain't no damn sundown town. But I guess what? I still don't want to fuck around. Y'all stay tuned, man. I mean, it's fixing to get dark, so I mean, I might not have anything else to show y'all because we're fixing to get the yawing. That's what them country folks say, yawing. I heard a country guy down there in Dothan, Alabama. His name was Edric. He said yawing. I was like, what is fucking? What's yawing?
I don't know if y'all saw the video of that one girl talking about I want to grow up in a sundown town, but I'm about to tell y'all about an actual experience I had in a sundown town. But I'm gonna need y'all to peep game and lock in. My school is founded on a former sundown town. The shit was so racist, the Underground Railroad goes around my school. I don't know how I find myself in these racist predicaments, but y'all already know I'm a college student. I'm fucking poor. So I decided to start fucking DoorDashing. My first day on the job, an hour and a half in, I was up $42. I'm thinking I'm money man. I'm thinking I'm richer than a thought after a divorce. But then I got a beautiful order, $24 for 6 miles. 4 minutes into my drive, I lose track of all civilization. Not a stoplight, street light, or a stop sign. I drove on gravel with no light for 10 minutes straight. And when I got to the house, I'm not gonna lie, I was being straight bitch. I was being straight pussy. I'm in the car like Courage the Cowardly Dog. And I call my homie and I'm like, am I a bitch if I don't drop this order off in a former sundown town? He told me what makes it a former sundown town, dumbass. They're just not doing that shit in broad daylight. When he told me that shit, it all clicked. I got in the car. I didn't even connect to aux. That's how scared I was. I was going to cool 80 the whole way back to school.
So the sound that y'all hearing is sirens. These are sirens in the towns that I live in. I found out today that those sirens are sirens from a town that was once a sundown town. Let me tell y'all, when I first heard these sirens, I called the girl that I knew that lived in this city. I called her and was like, what is this noise that I'm hearing? And she was like, oh yeah, that was probably from the fire department. And I was like, these sounds are weird. And then my daughter was like, yeah, it sounds like the purge. Today I get on TikTok this morning, I see a white girl. She posted that she moved somewhere that is a sundown town, and she discovered that that's what those sirens are for. I think she said that there's 3 a day, and that was to notify the black people that it was time for them to get in the house. And so today I was like, I heard it this morning, and I was like, hold on, I'm gonna start counting how many times I hear it a day, because it did sound weird, but I said I'm gonna start hearing it. That's the second time I heard it today, but I was out all day, so I don't know if it happened earlier, but I definitely heard it earlier this morning. And now I'm gonna start keeping track of how many times I hear the sirens in my neighborhood.
As a minority, have you ever driven to a town and gone to the gas station and felt like you just weren't welcome, or someone was following you around, or you're driving on the highway and you feel like someone's following you, but it's not the police, but you're definitely being trailed? Well, you may have been driving through a sundown town. A sundown town is a town, community, or neighborhood that's purposely all white. So in Canada and the US, sundown towns were legal. And in many places, actually, we still have sundown towns. So in Ontario, for example, in Leamington, we used to have laws that made it illegal for Black people to walk around the community after sunset. But let's talk about the Black history. During the era of racial segregation, there were many sundown towns because it was legal. In some of these towns or other towns had practices that did make it legal for racial segregation to be enforced. So in some communities, it was impossible for Black people to rent or purchase a house because they were literally not allowed to be in the community. In some US states like Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, Black people were banned from entering the state, and if they were caught, they would be sold into slavery. In these towns, the only Black people that were allowed to live there were those working for white families. In these towns, it was common to see signs that read, "Whites only," or "N-word, don't let the sun go down on you."
it's no secret that sundown towns still exist in the United States. But something that I think needs to happen is we need to expose sundown towns in the states that we live in. And I'll be the first to start it off. So if you feel inclined to add on to this, then do so. So the sundown town that I'm going to start with is Anna, Illinois. And if you're from Illinois, then you probably heard of this place. See, the racists that lived in Anna, Illinois came up with a nice little catchphrase. And it was, ain't no around. And another reason why I decided to do this video was just to show the world that racism isn't a southern thing. It's everywhere. It's in the north, it's in the west, it's in the east. But yeah, if you watch this and you decide that you want to add to this, please do, because I want to figure out how many sundown towns are still thriving today.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. What a devastating history that most of us were never told. And it is important that we get to have these discussions today because it is something that I believe that it's important for us to discuss. Why? Because you get to hear places written, no blacks allowed, whites only, white beach only. Like, we've seen white people do this in public beaches where everyone is allowed to stay. And this is just a reflection of how they used to treat black people during the Jim Crow era, right? And so this is a reflection of what I think should be taught to everyone. Everyone should be learning this and everyone should be knowing this. Now, there are a couple of mechanisms that I need to talk about. First, the mechanism of exclusion in Sundown Town varied. Now, in some cases, these communities used overt violence and intimidation, such as lynching, to drive out black residents and discourage others from settling. In other instances, exclusion was implemented through legal and economic means, such as restrictive covenant in real estate contracts that prohibited the sale of rental of property to black families. Local ordinances sometimes codified segregation, while cultural norms and collective complexity ensured that even without explicit laws, these communities remained hostile to people of color. Sundown Town could range. Sundown Town could range. Sundown Town could range from small rural communities to affluent suburban neighborhoods, making the phenomenon pervasive across socioeconomic lines. Notable examples include Anna, Illinois, known for its racist acronym, Ain't No Shit, Ain't No Niggers Allowed, and Leviton, New York, which explicitly barred black families from purchasing homes during the mid 20th century. Also, you need to note that the rise of sundown towns had devastating social and economic consequences for black Americans. These communities often represented areas of opportunities with better school, healthcare, and job perspectives. But black families were systematically denied access to these benefits. As a result, African Americans were often confined to overcrowded, underfunded, and urban neighborhoods, perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequality. This exclusion reinforced systemic racism by denying black Americans the ability to accumulate wealth through home ownership, a key driver of intergenerational economic stability in the United States. The social isolation enforced by sundown towns also contributed to the broader climate of racial terror, making it clear that white supremacy will be maintained not just through laws, but also through community complicity and violence. Although the Fair Housing Act of 1968 allowed explicit housing discrimination, the legacy of sundown towns persisted in modern America. Many communities remained racially segregated, and the economic disparity created by decades of exclusion are still relevant in wealth gaps, unequal access to quality education, and disparities in public services. Some towns that were historically sundown towns continue to have reputation as unwelcoming or hostile to the people of color, even without the overt signs of laws that once enforced these practices, subtle forms of housing discrimination and cultural exclusion still prevent many black families from accessing the opportunities these communities offer. James W. Lewin's seminal work, this is a work that includes the study of the Sundown Towns. Sundown Towns, a hidden dimension of American racism. This book provides a comprehensive examination of the dark chapter in the U.S. history. Lewin documented the existence of thousands of sundown towns and explored their profound impact on racial dynamics in America. His research revealed how these towns were not only product of individual prejudice but also a reflection of systemic efforts to maintain white dominance. Understanding the history of sundown towns is essential for grasping the structural roots of racial inequality in the United States and the enduring barriers of Black Americans face in their pursuit of equality and justice. So you need to know that there was so much deep white racism, and this was embedded in these areas that white people really stayed. And it is fine, like today we can call them out. And funny enough, as you heard from the clips that played, still some people are saying that these sundown towns are still here. Sundown towns, they could name these places and they have mapped them. And they can show that they are really sundown towns in these places. I don't know what you think. What's your experience with the sundown town? I really like to know what you think, because I feel like this is the part of history that most of us, we are not taught. We are not told about this. We didn't know about this, because for me as a person, it dawned to me the year 2014, like 4 months ago. That's when I got to know sundown towns. I really want to know what you feel and think about this. This is a presenter, Jintok Stories, and I'm hoping to see you in my next video. And until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.